Steve McQueen used to say to Dustin Hoffman before they would do a scene in Papillon, don't overact.
Well, with that bland statement, we open up our next edition of Times Times 3 at the West Hollywood Silver Spoon. And once again, we have the always ebullient Don Sherman, eloquent, effusive, opinionated, funny, and along with him is his straight man, Mr. Harry Northup, actor, misfit, poet, sometimes plays a priest, sometimes plays a murderer. Maybe they're one of the same.
He's very versatile in his vices.
I've been bad, but I've never been evil. Here's a question I would like to ask my friend, Mr. Don Sherman.
What's that?
Have you ever played a musical instrument?
Yes, I started to play the trumpet and was humiliated by my mother because for the beginning of the trumpet you just use the mouthpiece to develop your lip, and I was going around the house. And my mother used to say, "What's the matter? You can't teach you the whole instrument? What kind of musician can you be? You got to play the whole instrument." So that was the end of my trumpet career. Then I tried guitar for a year. But I was crippled in school when they told me I was a listener. I wasn't a bass, I wasn't a soprano, I was a listener. And that's demoralizing because you wanted to sing the Star Spangled Banner with your friends in school. But every time I got excited, I realized I was a listener and I should keep my mouth shut. That was sad. Ruined my musical career.
School my sister came with her two sons when they were little to our home. Little Ricky was about 4 or 5 months. Say, "Oh, Ricky, go blow your horn," and he'd go like this.
Did he ever learn the horn? Never learned it. There used to be nice instruments that you can play, like a comb and wax paper, kazoo, where you could just make up the melody.
Just make it up. That's right.
I played the saxophone when I was in the end of the 6th grade, the beginning of the 7th grade in my little town, Manzanilla, Colorado, and we went to Pueblo for band day. We had to march, and right before we went, I got a mohawk. Now this is 1951, and the band director told me, "I'm ordering you not to take your cap off." Well, he reprimanded me. He wouldn't let me show my mohawk.
Wow. You should report this to the Mohawks.
Yeah, to the Indian Society.
Commissioner of the police.
ACLU.
So what did you do? You took it all, you take
I had to wear my cap all the time.
Wouldn't you like to have a mohawk now?
I don't have enough hair.
That's what I mean. Wouldn't you like to have one now?
You can really tell an LA fan when he has caps in different colors.
Oh, well, he's a
one
serious
cap,
fan.
one color makes you a fan. But Harry, you have how many caps in different colors do you have?
On my grill?
LA Times.
Are you talking about caps on my teeth?
No, caps on your head.
Oh, caps on your teeth.
Yeah.
I got 5. One black, one white, one dark blue, one light blue, one blue with
Did you become a Dodger fan because you came out to live in California? That's what made you...
I was always a Yankee fan. Growing up, I knew all the stats in the Yankees. I loved Billy Martin. You know, Mantle was a Yankee from 51 to 68. Do you know why the Yankees got the pinstripes? To make Babe Ruth look thinner.
No. It didn't help much, did it?
Well, it made his legs look thinner.
Is he the greatest right fielder ever, or is it Al Kaline, or who else?
Right fielders are like the weak fielders.
Yeah.
Good hitters.
First baseman and right fielders,
arm.
they feel sorry for them most of the time, except when they get their bat.
Now listen to me, Mr. Sherman. You're going to have a 50th wedding anniversary this Saturday night at the Chateau Marmont. You and Maven and your daughter and your son-in-law are taking care of everything for you, and we're coming there. So I look forward to it. I'll be driving back from San Luis Obispo.
Especially this is my first 50th anniversary.
Have you ever celebrated your anniversary before?
But no, this is the first one. That's why we're nervous. We scheduled 4. We scheduled 4.
And they're booked.
Due to time constraints, we've been notified that we might not make the 4th.
Now, what do you owe your long-lived marriage to?
I'm crazy about my wife. You got to be in love with with your wife. If you're not in love with your wife, there's no rhyme or reason why you two people should hang around together. As a matter of fact, if you're not in love and you're of opposite sexes, better stay away from each other. You'll have fights, because basically one will want to convince the other to come over to their side.
Well, also you spent a lot of time on the high seas, so you were away. Absence makes the heart grow.
It sure does, but you know, in the later years, which I expect coming up on me in 10, 20 years, but in later years you start thinking, I did my show, I'm working, I'm sailing around, but my baby's not here, my life is not here, my wife is not here. Okay, the money is here, thank God. And it affords me a lifestyle, but I gotta be with my wife. That's the essence of life, is to be with your wife as much as you can and enjoy it.
I
That
agree.
was very dramatic.
Yes.
Here's, you know, my
Did you
brother.
hear about this? That Irwin, I had to throw this out because it was amazing to me. Professor Irwin Corey, who in my estimation is the greatest comedian that ever lived.
Charlie Chaplin?
Monologist. Nobody can exceed his talents. And he's 95 years old. And I saw a picture of him in the New York Times. This is the absolute truth. He's stopping all the cars coming out of the Midtown Tunnel and begging for money to send to Mexico for schools for girls.
Mexico or Haiti?
He's been doing this for 15 years. 15 years, this great artist.
And sometimes he goes home and he counts his money between $100 and $250.
Yeah, a day. And people are confused. Is it, who is this?
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's seen the star he saw. He paid like $25 for the cover. And here's this guy who's begging nickels and dimes from him.
Yeah, that's right.
Great man, little man. There's one story I got to tell you, the truthful story. I was working the Hungry Eye with him once in San Francisco. Now the Hungry Eye is got a bar in the front and a nightclub in the back. And he was so busy when he was there that the shows were sold out. So there had to be a certain amount of time you did. Well, Irwin don't know about time. You cannot stop him from time. If he's gone, they have to drag him off the stage. One day I was at the Hungry Eye. I went on first, and naturally I was a young comic, and I waited to watch him, and I'm still outside at the bar, and a guy robs the bar. So a guy yells, robbery, robbery, and Irwin comes running out of the club, through the bar, out of the street, thief, thief, stop the thief, and the police arrested him.
Irwin?
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that looked crazy.
Yeah. They wanted to accuse him of being an accessory to the murder.
Earlier we were talking about your marriage, and my sister married to a guy, Jim Gay. They've been married since 1947. And I asked him one time, what's the secret of your long marriage? And he says, I bite my teeth. I bite my tongue.
Oh, God.
And then one time we're driving into the Amish country, and he's driving the white town car, and my sister's in the back, and I said, Jim, you're a good driver. And he says, I hold the steering wheel. Dorothy does the driving. Is that the way with you and Maven? You hold the steering wheel, she does the driving?
I hold the steering wheel, but she drives me crazy. She is the worst backseat driver. Why do they call a side seat the backstreet driver?
I don't know.
Backseat driver.
What we do to solve the problem in our car is we have an extra brake pedal installed on the passenger side.
Do you really?
Yeah, so when I'm driving, and she wants me to stop, she just slams on the brakes.
That's interesting. You buy like one of those teaching cars.
That's right. She has her own set of controls. She can override me at any moment.
I went with Amy. That's my little daughter. I went with her to get her driver's license, and we're standing there, and she says to me, the car goes on before her. And she says, Dad, he didn't stop at the red light pulling out. Is he supposed to do that? I said, tell that to the instructor. And she went and she says, just sure, he didn't stop at the excellent young lady. She says, smile.
I learned to drive when I was 12.
Conspiracy was formed between father and daughter.
There you go.
She's not so little anymore.
Should have been a cop.
I learned to drive when I was 12 years old. I learned to drive in a 1949 maroon Plymouth in Manzanilla, Colorado. So we have with us today not only our wonderful artist, cameraman, director, but also one of the smartest, kindest, most observant man you'll ever meet, Mr. Dan from back east.
Who refuses,
That's all I'm going to say.
Who refuses to reveal his face, but you can't hear his voice.
We can hear his voice. Philly Dan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here I am.
He just had a great carrot cake.
I did. Enjoyed it very much.
Had a nice sugar fix.
You eat very heartily. I guess you need that in the private eye business. You got to leap over.
Uh-oh, he broke anonymity.
Oh,
There he goes.
we didn't give that name out.
Oh,
Cat's out of the bag.
He's in a very physical
I
business.
burned a lot of energy.
Remember that movie Sweet Smell of Success where Lancaster wants Tony Curtis to put some weed in a person in a nightclub. They pop the person, and so Lancaster says to him, "Have you taken care of it?" And Tony Curtis says, "The cat's in the bag, the bag's in the river."
Can you swing over to Dan?
You don't want to be on there.
No, but can you do it? Can you swing over and catch his face?
That's a
back door.
Well, you could do it, technically.
It doesn't look good.
No.
Dave would hate to be walking around with a splint.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting aggressive now. Boy, you gotta be aggressive.
He has his own camera.
You know, in a physical business, you gotta know how to turn on aggressiveness. It's like acting.
Yes. I'm like Jacques Cousteau. I used to say, I'd say, Philippe, you go into the water.
Philippe?
Yeah, Philippe,
You go.
down 250 feet.
Make friends with the
Go with the
fishes.
shark, that's
Make
right.
friends with the fishes.
Yeah, exactly.
I can never understand a human being with a heart that beats, holding a fish, taking the hook out of his mouth. I think he's doing such a great benevolent thing. This poor fish has an infection. His Medicare isn't paid up. You throw him back into the water.
He has no dental insurance.
Oh, you know how
It's hard to get dental,
You know that infection
Marine land.
hurts when you take that out and you just swim him back.
But you know why he doesn't?
Because
Salt water.
all the fish belong to the Screen Actors Guild, so they're okay.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. The fish can't kill him. If he goes hunting other animals, they can kill him. The fish can't kill him.
Oh, they can bite you.
safe.
They can bite you to death. They can nibble you to death.
I've been around some barracudas. And some fish, too.
Fish is a very interesting species, God.
Yes.
That underwater.
Can you use the
Have you ever
word
been underwater?
fishes?
Don? Have you been underwater?
Yeah,
Scuba dive?
I'm a good swimmer. Good swimmer. I learned how to swim when I was a kid.
Are you swimming with the fishes?
Swimming with the fishes, that's the Godfather. Sleeping with the fishes. Fishes don't sleep. If fishes sleep, do they stop in the water and take a nap?
I don't think so.
They have to keep
Some
floating.
do. Some do. No, some do.
The gills have to keep moving.
No, the sharks are the ones who have to don't sleep.
Yeah, they have to keep
They
moving.
have to keep moving. Sharks.
Sharks? What do they got to worry about?
They have to, the sharks are like relationships. If they don't move forward, they die.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, they don't have too many predators, but they.
You got to exercise everything, otherwise it'll atrophy. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, they got to exercise their jaws. They got to tear into flesh regularly.
I like the Mount Auray Aquarium. You can see the little otters. So what's next?
What I was thinking with fish, there's a lot of poison. There's like poison in fish. What's the one that has the
I like halibut
like
and swordfish.
Japanese have fish where you make
Blowfish.
Blowfish.
You
That's right.
one slice a little too big, a little too small, can kill you.
Yeah. Fugu, it's called.
Well, how important is eating that you're willing to risk your life?
It's macho.
The adventure.
Yeah, it's the Japanese macho.
Boy, I love football games, but I'll tell you, it's like watching World War II. I used to see in football games, you see a stretcher brought out twice a game. Get brought out every 15 minutes.
Sure.
They're taking guys off in stretchers.
Because these guys are
getting bigger.
If they get a hangnail, they complain about it too.
Years ago, I asked JoJo why.
tough
Yeah, they're getting
man.
paid more.
Tough man, this man.
I asked
Tough
JoJo
man.
why he liked football, and he said 2 reasons. It's a contact sport, and then the shape of the football. When you kick it and it lands, you don't know which direction the ball is going to go.
Why is that exciting?
That's what he said.
You know.
He's dead. You can't ask him. That's what he said.
I'll never forget my teacher once said to me in high school, he said, I don't want to see that guy get up after the next play. I said, what is this? This is football. That's wrestling, fighting,
Murder ball.
He wanted me to hurt that guy so he can't get up for the next play. That's when I left high school.
That would be a time.
You can't breed violence. You see the cage fighting? Bangs his head on the floor, jumps on him, kicks him. It's all locked up, and the people you look and you realize that people are screaming. What do they want to see? An eye pop out, an ear fall off?
But that was the presidential debate on Saturday, was that?
In a minor
Cage fighting.
That was the presidential debate.
Yeah, the GOP.
The 8 Stooges.
Well, gentlemen,
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
our show is coming to a close.
Oh, I just got in the mood. I just got to know.
Oh, did you?
I just warmed up to Harry. I'm even starting to like Gail over here. You, I don't see too much, but I like your voice, but you don't talk enough.
Well, I kind of let you guys
Anyway,
ramble
it's time
on.
to
You
say
know.
goodbye.
Time to say goodbye. We've had a great show
We'll be
today.
back tomorrow.
Back
We're
tomorrow.
having so much fun.
Harry,
here.
great
Thank you
seeing
very
you.
much.
Having the time of our lives.
David, and good seeing you, Dan.
No money, but a lot of laughs.
One of these days, we're going to have to discuss the Silver Spoon.
Which day?
Who comes here, some of the names,
Yep.
and some little stories,
Just the-
because
one-
we're heading toward the end of the Silver Spoon.
Yeah,
Maybe
pretty
not.
Do a
soon.
little anecdotal
Anecdotal.
history of the place.
We should.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do that coming up in our next episode.
Okay.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
David.